Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigelverse once again, and welcome back to System Shock Radio. So, 100 episodes. Wow. Wow. We are finally here at 100 episodes. It is absolutely incredible that we're here. I just want to take the time to say thank you guys so much. Whether you're here since you've been here since episode 1, since if this is your first time, I'm welcome, by the way, or anywhere in between. I just want to say thankful. I am so thankful and so hateful for each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for allowing me to do 100 episodes of System Shock Radio, but it's only up from here. We're only gonna keep going from here. But because it is 100 episodes of System Shock Radio, I have a little treat for you guys, as I'm going to be doing 100 fun facts about myself. So that for those of you who know me really well, or otherwise you might already know some of these, but for those of you who are kind of new or maybe don't know me as well, this will be a good chance for you to kind of get to know me a little bit. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting with number 1, my name is Nigel Dixie. Number 2, I was born on September 7th of 2000. And number 3 is that I am from Buffalo, New York. Yep, the 716. I'm a Buffalo kid, where the summers are hot and the winters are cold and or abysmal. Number 4 is that my favorite season is summer and my least favorite is winter, and I kind of gave that away with the sentence I just said. But for summer, of course, it's nice and warm. Everybody's outside. Everybody's just chilling. There's no school. Nothing at. There's probably still some stuff to worry about, but not as much. And summer is just a very fun feeling. But the winters are rough, especially this previous winter. This previous winter, which I mentioned before on System Shock Radio, might have been like probably one of, not the worst winter we've had. But yeah, not really that big a fan of winter. Number 5 is that I graduated high school in 2018. I graduated from Hutch Tech. And number 6 is I graduated college in 2022. I graduated from Buffalo State University, although it was Buffalo State College when I was going, but just recently became a university. So shouts out to them, of course. Number 7 is that I was elected prom king at my junior prom. Junior prom was so fun, and junior year was really fun in a lot of regards. Some stuff that did kind of suck, but junior prom was really fun, and just a really fun feeling all throughout. So was senior prom for the most part, but junior prom, just very magical, very fun night. And I think this partially had something to do with it, me being prom king, and it was something that definitely caught me off guard, caught a lot of people off guard, but it was really exciting, really awesome feeling, and was the junior prom and everything. Number 8 is that I love video games. I talk about video games almost all the time here on System Shock Radio. I wear a lot of video game shirts. I don't have one on today, but yeah, I love video games. I've loved video games since I was a wee lad. Definitely big fan of video games, and I even want to do video game programming, which is one of the things I went to college for. Number 9 is that my favorite video game is Spyro the Dragon, and considering that, I think the fact that I've all the times I've talked about Spyro, and the fact I've worn Spyro shirts, my Spyro shirt here on when I'm recording videos and stuff, it's probably a dead giveaway, but I love it so much that number 10, I have 100% completed and platinumed all 3 Spyro games multiple times. Now, admittedly, this wasn't something I did until I was an adult. When I was younger, I kind of sucked at video games, but once I got older, I 100%ed Spyro. I have the PS1 games emulated onto my PS3. I 100%ed those. And then once the Spyro Reignited trilogy came out, I not only 100%ed all 3 games, but platinumed all 3 games as well. And I've gone back to do it multiple times. the Switch port, or to have it on Switch so I can play it on the go. And I've even done it on stream. And the thing about 100%ing Spyro is it's not necessarily difficult. It is on some cases, but it is very time consuming. But yeah, so I'm a big old Spyro nerd, big old Spyro fan. And number 11 is I love wrestling, as you've probably been able to tell, because wrestling gets a lot of top billing on System Shock Radio, and I talk about wrestling a lot, do wrestling reviews and everything, which I just did one for AJ Styles versus Finn Balor at TLC 2017, so if you haven't already, go check that out. But yeah, very, very big fan of wrestling and pro wrestling and everything. Number 12 is that I first got into wrestling in 2008. I kind of knew some of what wrestling was, but 2008 is when I really started to get into it. It started watching like the weekly programming, more so SmackDown, because it came out on a Friday, and Fridays and the weekends I didn't really have a bedtime. When I was younger, so I would watch SmackDown, especially whenever me and my little sister would go over to my grandma's house. They'd be off doing their thing and watching a lot of like crime shows or like playing on my grandma's computer and stuff like that, which sometimes I would also do. But otherwise, I was in the living room watching SmackDown, following along the storylines and everything. I had the WWE magazines, I had the video games, I had the action figures. Like, hey, wrestling, very, very big part of my childhood, and even into my adulthood, that I still have that love for pro wrestling. Number 13 is that my favorite wrestler ever is The Undertaker, which was my grandma's favorite wrestler as well. The Undertaker, or a guy who's been so loyal to WWE, been around for so long, just retired recently, within the decade, just like a couple years ago. Got inducted to the Hall of Fame last year. Very, very big honor. And 30 years in WWE. He spent some time in other territories, such as like WCW and everything, but in the WWE, 30 years there. Just take a moment and think about all the wrestlers and the superstars who have come and gone since then, and guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, even though a couple of them were already around by then, but Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, The Rock, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, like just all kinds of wrestlers in that time span, and a lot of the memorable matches he's made. Like Undertaker, I've always been a huge fan of. Definitely my favorite wrestler of all time. And I do like a lot of wrestlers, but Undertaker's definitely like an absolute favorite of all time. Number 14 is that my first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 24, and I've talked about it, I think, here on System Shock Radio. I don't remember which episode it was, but talking about my first watching WrestleMania 24. So me, my dad, and my sister went over to my grandma's house. She ordered WrestleMania 24 on cable. This is back when WWE had the pay-per-view format and everything, and watched WrestleMania 24, and just a phenomenal show. And I remember, like I said, this is around when I was infatuated with WWE, so this was such a fantastic experience for me, is watching WrestleMania 24 and seeing it. I definitely gotta go back and watch it at some point to see if it still holds up, and I'm sure it probably will. And just like the roster in WWE in 2008 was a pretty solid roster. Like 2008's roster, pretty hard to top. A lot of guys who are still in their prime and everything, and there are even some guys who sadly aren't like doing wrestling anymore. But yeah, 2008 was definitely a solid roster. Number 15 is that my favorite tag team is the Hardy Boys. Probably because of all their like Daredevil spots. More so Jeff. Matt, not really as much, but a lot of the Daredevil spots, the fact that they felt like such high energy almost all the time. I definitely love the Hardy Boys, and crazy to think they're still wrestling even to this day. Hey, but also while I mentioned this, hoping Jeff, who just recently came back on TV in AEW, hope he's still battling his addictions and still continuing to get the help that he needs, because we love you, man. We love you, Jeff. Now, number 16 is that I love comic books. All kinds of comics, Marvel, DC, even some other comics, but Marvel and DC are mainly the ones I read. Especially watching the superhero movies, playing superhero video games, and collecting comic books, having the superhero action figures. Whereas I absolutely love comics, and honestly, just like art in general, like graphic art for like graphic novels and stuff, something so appealing and so fun and awesome to look at for me. Number 17 is that my favorite superhero is Spider-Man, and my favorite supervillain is the Joker, and that has crossed like all the comics and everything. And Spider-Man, someone I've resonated with since I was a little kid, not just the Spider-Man movies, but also the Spider-Man TV show, like the 90s TV show, which of course they aired the reruns on Disney. And going back to my grandma again, I was super close with my grandma, rest in peace to her, of course, but she had like a lot of like old Spider-Man comics from back in the day, some of his early comics, and I would always read them, and one day she'd just let me take them home, and I would read them and be so infatuated with Spider-Man. And the Joker, of course, probably one of the most memorable super villains of all time, definitely one of my favorite characters, and Joker, very interesting in character because a lot of his origin is shrouded in mystery and everything, and so definitely love the Joker. Number 18 is that I like to cook. I like experimenting with different ingredients and different recipes and everything, kind of just making some recipes on my own, but liking to cook different kinds of things, and yeah, so really like to cook, really like to experiment and throw down in the kitchen. Number 19 is that my favorite type of music is rock music. Now, just right off the bat, I do love music, but as for my favorite music type, it's definitely got to be rock music. Something about it, it just really like gets the blood pumping. It's just like, yeah, I love rock music. Number 20 is that my favorite rock bands are AC/DC, Metallica, and Killswitch Engage. I do like a lot of other rock bands such as like Slipknot, but AC/DC, Metallica, and Killswitch Engage are definitely some of my favorites, and partially inspiration for me wanting to learn guitar, which I definitely gotta get back to because I've been slacking on that. But yeah, really awesome rock bands. Number 21 is that I posted my first video on my YouTube channel on November 15th of 2020, and that's when I started posting the episodes that I had done previously of System Shock Radio over on my YouTube channel. I actually had my YouTube channel around for a little bit, but I only mainly used it to like and comment on other videos that I would watch, but I didn't start uploading my own videos until November 15th of 2020. And definitely what a journey it's been so far, almost 3 years doing YouTube. Of course, some ups and downs, but I'm definitely glad to be a part of this journey. I'm glad you guys are a part of this journey along with me. Number 22 is that my favorite movie genres are action and science fiction. Like stuff blowing up, seeing cool ideas coming to life, especially in science fiction. I feel like science fiction usually has a lot of cool ideas and concepts coming to life. Some stuff that is there kind of to be like action, get like blood pumping excitement, like yeah, but also some stuff that's like some genuinely interesting concepts. I do like other movie types such as like mystery or suspense, but action science fiction I definitely feel like I gravitate towards. And maybe it's because I like superheroes so much that might influence it, but yeah, those are my favorite movie types. Number 23, I have several favorite YouTubers. I love watching YouTube. One of the reasons why I started uploading videos in the first place. What do I watch on YouTube? It definitely varies. I mainly watch like pro wrestling stuff, video game stuff. I have some of the ones I've watched from my childhood, such as like Swoozy, but otherwise watching video game related content, watching wrestling related content. I've kind of been getting into like crime and stuff as well recently, especially with Coffee House Crime. Really awesome channel, really awesome dude. Go check him out. But a lot of stuff that I enjoy watching here on YouTube. Number 24 is that I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister. And you've seen one of my older brothers and my younger sister on the channel before. Of course, my brother Tony, my brother Gerald, and my sister Alana. You've probably seen, like I said, you've seen Tony and Alana on the channel before. But yeah, number 25 is that my favorite match types are ladder matches, the Royal Rumble, and the Elimination Chamber. Ladder match, I've always maintained that it's really hard to mess up a ladder match. Of course, ladder matches, what they have been described as, of course, the human demolition derby, and they definitely are in a lot of regards. Just a lot of like insanity and just action and chaos all throughout. I think that might be what turns some people off from ladder matches, because there's not really a whole lot of psychology, but I don't care. I still love ladder matches. The Royal Rumble, always a fun time, one of my favorite seasons, and mostly because, for the most part, with some exceptions, it's usually pretty unpredictable, with like returns and like sometimes swerves and surprise winners, at least sometimes. And sadly, the last 2 Rumbles, both this year and last year, and kind of the 2021 Rumble, haven't quite hit the same, but I'm gonna remain hopeful. And then there's the Elimination Chamber, or kind of also an insanity type of match, just like the ladder match, but confined in a cage, of course. There's 6 guys, sometimes 7, sometimes 8, battling it out. And the Elimination Chamber, usually a brutal, gory affair. Not quite as much blood and gore, or especially since they changed the old chamber design. Which, on one hand, the old chamber looks more like aesthetically pleasing, but on the other hand, apparently that last chamber, a lot of the superstars have admitted, was a nightmare to navigate. But otherwise, the Elimination Chamber is still one of my favorite match types. And yeah, seeing a lot of insanity and just good stuff throughout the Elimination Chamber. And this one, which I reviewed, this year's Elimination Chamber event, so if you haven't already, go check that out. But that Elimination Chamber was really awesome as well. And the Elimination Chamber, been called by many to be the last good, like, cage-based match type invented by WWE, and I'd be inclined to agree. Next up is number 26, which my favorite Royal Rumble is the 2006 Royal Rumble. Now, I know compared to like other Rumbles, the Royal Rumble 2006 might not be technically as good as the other ones, like say 2004 or 1992 or 2001. But I don't care. I think it's partially because Rey Mysterio won this Rumble, but something about it does have some pretty cool star power, or such as like Triple H or The Big Show or Bobby Lashley in kind of his rookie year. Or seeing some of the star power in the 2006 Royal Rumble is what helps it resonate with me, I feel like. Number 27 is that I have had every PlayStation console except the PS5 and the PSP. Sadly, didn't have a PSP growing up. I know a lot of people did, but I didn't. And the PS5, still haven't gotten around to getting mine yet. So, once I get my PS5, if I'm even going to get one, I'm still kind of on the fence. But once I get mine, this one will be kind of rendered half moot. But for now, yeah. There's that. But otherwise, I've had the PlayStation 1, actually had it in my room and everything. Had the PlayStation 2, had the PlayStation 3, and I have my PlayStation 4. And I actually still have my PlayStation 3, but yeah, so number 28 is my first wrestling games were WWF SmackDown and ECW Anarchy Rules. Best wrestling games in the world? Not really, but definitely games I grew up with. And I think one of the other reasons why helped me get into wrestling, I feel like between those 2 games, I was kind of born to get into wrestling. But yeah, otherwise, it's like I said, not the greatest games ever, but still kind of fun for younger me. And seeing how far the WWE games have come since hence these 2 games, which Anarchy Rules kind of sucks, but yeah, seeing how far the WWE games have come is sometimes good, sometimes bad. But nevertheless, number 29 is that one of my favorite games growing up was Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. This game is a bit of an anomaly, I feel like. on one hand, it is like a movie tie-in game, which usually are hit or miss, and I know there's a lot of people who don't really like this game, but I don't care. I grew up with it. Haven't even seen. I think I've seen the movie. It's based off like one time, but this game I played the crap out of. Me and my sister played the crap out of this game, and I played it years later on emulation. Doesn't always hold up, and you can tell they kind of did copy the other games, more notably like Crash Bandicoot. There's like 3 or 4 levels in Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase that are ripped like almost directly from Crash Bandicoot, but I don't care. It's still a relatively fun game on the whole. Well, and the fact that it is like a movie tie-in game with some like actual substance for the most part, and not just like a game you can beat in like a day or in like a few hours or so. Gives it extra points for me, but that's just me. Next up was, next up is number 30. Is that I have never finished a Legend of Zelda game, and the thing is I kind of suck at video games, kind of, sort of, but also the thing about Legend of Zelda games is that they are a bit lengthy sometimes, and they are a bit of a grind. You'll be at it for a little bit, but I will eventually finish the Legend of Zelda game. I've played some of the games before. I have Link's Awakening and Breath of the Wild over on my Switch, and I had the Wind Waker over on my Wii U, who #port Wind Waker to Nintendo Switch, but yeah, I never finished a Legend of Zelda game. Number 31 is that I love coffee. I absolutely adore coffee. The beautiful brown liquid maiden herself. It's funny because like my sister hates coffee, but me and my mom, we absolutely love coffee. Number 32 is that my favorite food is pizza. I absolutely love pizza. The beautiful slice is all the good stuff that you can put on the pizza. Just fantastic. Number 33 is that my favorite pizza toppings are meat-based ones, so stuff like pepperoni or bacon or sausage. It's usually my go-tos for pizza toppings. Never pineapple. Well, I don't care what anybody says, pineapple on pizza is gross. But next up is that his number 34, and that's I went to my first WWE live event in 2009. So it was actually a Christmas present for my brother, and a few days after Christmas we went down to the HSBC Arena. It was known as the HSBC Arena at the time. Now it's the KeyBank Center, but it was the HSBC Arena at the time, and this wasn't like televised, but it was a WWE live event, and it was a lot of fun. I think the main event was Sheamus versus John Cena, if I'm not mistaken. This is when Sheamus was having a pretty much massive rookie year. Like Sheamus, when he first burst onto the scene, at least on like main WWE television in 2009, I think they tried to give him like a Kurt Angle push, where he just had like this massive major rookie year where he won like the WWE Championship pretty early on in his career. They definitely strapped the rocket to him, and it's crazy to think Sheamus is still there to this day. But nevertheless, number 35 is that I went to my first televised WWE live event in 2013, and this was actually the old school Raw when it came to Buffalo. This is the one where Jake Roberts put the snake on Dean Ambrose for like context, and that was pretty fun. And it was me, my parents, and my younger sister who went, and it was pretty fun. And then number 36 is that I went to my first AEW show for my birthday last year. So, for my birthday, it kind of was a birthday present to myself because AEW was coming to town on that exact day, which I had definitely been waiting for AEW to come to Buffalo. And when it came, it was a lot of fun. Getting to see a lot of the AEW superstars. I did sit in kind of the nosebleed section, but otherwise it was pretty cool seeing a lot of the AEW superstars. That was the night Daniel Garcia won the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, as he was teasing the ascension of the Jericho Appreciation Society, teasing leaving the Jericho Appreciation Society. I'll wait for them to like undo it, I think like a month or two later. But yeah, so pretty good events. However, it was kind of awkward because this was right after All Out, so Oh, that awkward. It was like the next dynamite right after what happened at All Out. All Out literally happened the Sunday before, and it was still kind of the fallout from All Out afterwards. So it was kind of awkward. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, look it up. But next, number 37 is that I love Botchamania. Not sure when I first started watching Botchamania, but I love Botchamania. Matthew is the GOAT. Pretty much seeing like some of the funny botches and bloopers from your favorite wrestler is always, he's a treat, and a lot of the memes and stuff that are put in help keep it even more entertaining. I just absolutely adore Botchamania. And I may or may not do some Botchamania reactions on the channel. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But next up, number 38 is that I have pre-ordered 4 games in my lifetime, and that is the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 11, Avengers, and WWE 2K23. So with the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, like, I definitely want to cop that like as soon as possible, because when the Reignited Trilogy was first announced, I was so hyped. I was so excited for the Reignited Trilogy. So I knew I just had to have it. So I pre-ordered and everything, and got some like custom themes for it, which was pretty cool. Mortal Kombat 11, and I think mostly because I kind of wanted Shao Kahn, even though Shao Kahn would be like DLC later on, but yeah, so I wanted Shao Kahn on, and Mortal Kombat 11 I was pretty excited for. It was a bit disappointing at times, but I was excited for it nevertheless. Then there was Avengers, which Avengers, the fact that I pre-ordered it and then it kind of turned out to be disappointing does kind of suck, honestly. Like, I was so hyped for the game and everything, it looked really cool, and then the way it turned out kind of disappointing. It really sucked and did really sour me, the fact that I pre-ordered the game. And also shout out to Avengers, because sadly the servers are being shut off. I don't know if they've been shut off already. I know they're going to be shut off pretty soon for the game, so Avengers is coming to an end. I literally haven't played Avengers since the Kate Bishop DLC, so I might go back and finish the other DLCs at some point, I don't know. And then there was 2K23, and I pre-ordered it just to get it out of the way. Also, kind of because I wanted like the Ruthless Aggression Superstars, or it's like Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, and Brock Lesnar. So I ended up pre-ordering 2K23, and I also got of course Bad Bunny as well. 2K23, I actually haven't played in a little bit. It's probably gonna go back to it, especially to play like My Rise and everything. But yeah, so those are the games I pre-ordered, which not a lot, but still. Next up, number 39 is that I work at Wegman, and so, or specifically the one on Amber Street, for those of you who are familiar with the Buffalo area. So if you ever see me at work, come say hello. Oh, that is if I don't have my headphones in. If I have my headphones in, I'll at least wave to you. I'll or do like a head nod, but otherwise, for real, if you see me out and about at work, come say hello. Number 40 is that I got my first DS in 2012. I didn't have the PSP, but I did have the Nintendo DS. And kind of a funny story to go along with it. Back in the day, me and my sister, which we talked about for the Christmas episode where she was on System Shock Radio, but we would go snooping around my parents' bedroom looking for Christmas gifts, and we found a DS game, so we knew at least one of us was getting a DS. And then come Christmas, both of us ended up getting a DS, and the DS was super fun. I had a lot of fun games for the DS. I had Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Brothers. Had Bakugan, which honestly the DS port was probably like the best port of Bakugan for the DS. And yes, just a lot of other fun games. I had like Sonic Colors for the DS, which is a really cool port. Heard of Sonic Colors? So, yeah, all started in 2012, and I actually had the DSi with the camera and everything. Number 41 is that I bought both my PS4 and my Nintendo Switch in 2019, and I actually got them on a Black Friday, so I got pretty good deals for both my PS4 and my Nintendo Switch. And actually, I probably should do a correction. So I actually bought my first PS4 back in 2018 in which was the PS4 Slim, but unfortunately I had to buy a new one because that one ended up corrupting on me. So I had to buy the PS4 Pro, so I should put PS4 Pro here. But yeah, so I bought both those in 2019, and I still have them. Next up, number 42 is that I have Final Fantasies 7 through 10 for my Nintendo Switch. It's still working on 7, and I definitely want to play 7 through 10 to really experience some like 7 through 10 or X, as 10 is often referred to, considered some of like the best of like Final Fantasy and everything. So definitely want to experience those for myself. But next up, number 43, I love comedy. Sometimes stand-up comedy, sometimes jokes. Love hearing jokes, love telling jokes. Just love comedy and love not just laughing but making people laugh. Next up, number 44, I like to draw, and I've been drawing for a little while now. Especially even when I was a kid, I used to draw stuff all the time in like class and everything. I used to draw all kinds of pictures like superheroes, even some wrestlers. Wasn't always very good at it, and honestly not really the best at it, but I still love to draw. It's something that's really cool that I like to do. And I used to even draw comic books for my friends and everything to read and enjoy. But number 45, which I kind of mentioned earlier, but I love art. I love seeing art. I love seeing how art's created. Some like the art videos that I see like on social media of people creating art is always super cool. The techniques and just seeing art, seeing like creative expression and everything through art, like paintings, or however you express your art is always really cool. Number 46 is that I usually don't watch like the latest shows or movies until much later, unless it's something I like really want to see. Normally I'm kind of late to those sorts of things, mostly because I'm kind of lazy, or like I just don't get into stuff until much later. So if you ask me about the latest stuff, I'm probably not going to know what's going on unless it's something I'm like really following. Number 47 is that despite me loving pro wrestling and everything, I have no aspirations to be a wrestler. And I mentioned this on one of my previous episodes of System Shock Radio. I don't remember which one, but yeah, not planning on being a wrestler, or mostly because I don't want to go through like physical pain. Wrestling is definitely tough. Shout out to all the people who do wrestling. I even have a couple friends of mine who are wrestlers. There's definitely shouts out to you guys. And it sucks seeing people like criticize wrestling, calling it like fake and stuff. Like seeing a lot of the stuff that they put their bodies through. Knowing the risk and going through it anyway. All the respect in the world to you guys. Number 48 is my favorite games are action games. My favorite type of games are action games. Similar to movies, my favorite type of games are action games. Games with a lot of action and stuff going throughout. Number 49 is that my least favorite games are rhythm games. Probably because I occasionally have the reflexes of a fruit fly, but rhythm games I've never really found that much appealing. I'll play them sometimes, but otherwise not going to actively seek them out. Number 50 is that I love listening to music, which I mentioned earlier. I absolutely love music. Number 51, I'm not really a fan of TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account, not really planning on making a TikTok account. Just not really something I'm into. Like my friends and family sometimes send me TikTok clips, but otherwise I'm not really gonna make an account of my own. I'm not really planning on it. Now, if you like TikTok and everything, that's totally fine, but me, I just can't really find myself getting into it. Number 52 is that I have tried to cut my own hair twice. Both these times happened in high school, and both these times happened in freshman year. Trying to cut my own hair, it didn't really work out. It turned out really bad, and I haven't tried since. I probably could and possibly should learn to cut my own hair at some point, just in case I'm not able to go to the barbershop and I need a haircut at the moment. But otherwise, at the moment, don't really know how to cut my own hair. Definitely gotta learn though. Thankfully, on YouTube there are videos of learning how to cut your own hair and everything. Number 53 is that I like movies. Like watching movies. Big fan of movies. As I mentioned several times, and throughout the movie reviews I've done, and for the channel and everything. Number 54 is that I usually don't get a lot of sleep. Normally, the recommended amount is 6 to 8 hours. Whereas normally I'll get 6. Sometimes I'll get 5, which isn't really the best. But I feel like I don't often need like a lot of sleep in order to function, and I can still function even if I don't get a whole lot of sleep. Sometimes not very well, but I think I can still, for the most part, function. I'm a bit of an insomniac at times, you know. Number 55 is that I want to grow a large beard. I kind of have a small beard going on, and right now it did get trimmed down a little bit last time I went to the barbershop, but I want like a big beard, like a full beard, but I know it will come with time and patience. Number 56 is I like Family Guy. More so old school Family Guy. The new ones I'm not really able to get into, but old school Family Guy. With all its like wit and just funny moments and just like ridiculousness that were a lot more in the vein of like actually funny and clever. And I might do a whole video about like old versus new Family Guy, but yeah, I like Family Guy. Number 57 is I like Futurama. Futurama, really fun show, really cool show. I really like watching it. Especially since I'm a fan of sci-fi, and there's a lot of like sci-fi stuff going on. And apparently the creators behind it all had degrees in, I believe, astrophysics, which helped flesh out a lot of the jokes and stuff, a lot of like the science fiction related jokes throughout the show. But yeah, I love Futurama. Number 58 is, and I'm kind of embarrassed by this one, is I didn't watch Avatar: The Last Airbender until late last year. Yeah, I was super late. I told you, I'm late to like the latest shows, even if it's this show that's been around for over a decade, almost 2, and that a lot of people really like. I actually didn't get around to watching it until last year, and I'm glad I did, because it is a fantastic show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. If you have, go watch it again, because it is fantastic. Haven't gotten the chance to watch The Legend of Korra yet, but Avatar: The Last Airbender, really, really awesome show. So, a lot of people have argued it's probably one of the best Nickelodeon shows ever, and it's hard to disagree with that. Number 59 is that I have hundreds of games for my PS4. No, I'm not proud of it. Number 60 is that I have 39 games for my Nintendo Switch. A lot of Mario titles, Spyro, as I mentioned, the Final Fantasy games, as I mentioned, some Sonic games, quite a bit of stuff for my consoles and everything. Number 61 is that my immediate family, aka parents and sister, were all born in different seasons, and which is kind of weird. So my sister was born in the winter, in February. My dad was born in June, but this is before the official first day of summer, so it's technically the springtime, in which is kind of a technicality, but so is mine, because I was born in September, but before fall. Also, I was technically born in the summer, or again, another technicality, and my mom was born in November, which is of course, the fall. Also, 4 different seasons, which is pretty interesting. Number 62 is that I like Wegmans food, at least most of the time. The thing is, though, it can get a little bit pricey, and it can get a little annoying. Number 63 is that I like Dr. Pepper. Or I don't care what any of you say, I like Dr. Pepper. And number 64, I like Twizzlers. I don't care what any of you say. Hey, someone said it tastes like melted. I forgot. No. Someone said it tasted like like someone was thinking of strawberries while melting candles. But I don't care, and strawberries isn't the only flavor they have, but I don't care. I like Twizzlers. I like Dr. Pepper. I don't care what any of you say. Number 65, my favorite candy actually is not Twizzlers, but Sour Patch Kids. Something about Sour Patch Kids, probably because I do like sour candies, but Sour Patch Kids I really, really like. Number 66 is I've never finished a Metal Gear Solid game. Now, unlike The Legend of Zelda, I've only attempted to play one Metal Gear Solid game, and that was the first one. And I know they had other like Metal Gear games as well, but I'm talking like the Metal Gear Solid games with like Solid Snake and everything. But yeah, I started playing the first one, haven't finished it. Definitely want to finish it at some point. And I do have the other Metal Gear Solid games for the console. well, for my PS3, which Metal Gear Solid 1, then 2, Sons of Liberty, then 3, Snake Eater, and then 4, and then I do have 5 for my PS4. So I definitely gotta finish those at some point. Number 67 is that I had a PS1 in my bedroom, which I mentioned before. Number 68 is I broke my PS2 while playing Ratchet & Clank Going Commando. Now, I mentioned this when I reviewed Ratchet & Clank Going Commando, which if you haven't already, go check out that review. But, yeah, so I was playing Going Commando. I tugged on my PS2 controller cord because it was kind of far away. Ended up dropping the PS2, ended up jamming the disc tray and just messing up the console, and then it was pretty much donezo from there, or I had to toss it. RIP PS2. Number 69 is that I like reading. Whether it's reading stuff online or even books, I enjoy reading quite a bit. It's reading, of course, is how you gain knowledge, at least most of the time. But yes, reading in one of the building blocks of society. Number 70 is that I graduated college with a 3.1 GPA. Not bad. Number 71. Or I think I actually said 71, but 70 is I graduated college with a 3.1. But number 71 is that I have a Marvel encyclopedia. I actually have it right here. It's actually a gift from my friend, and of course, Marvel encyclopedia, talking about a lot of the Marvel characters and everything. Number 72 is I had a W encyclopedia, more specifically like the first edition they had of the W encyclopedia back when Chris Benoit was still in the book. But I had the W encyclopedia. I know they made a couple more versions since then, but I had the initial one back in the day. Sadly, it's lost to time, but yeah, so I had it growing up. Number 73 is that I bought my first USB mic in 2019. Because 2019 was when I decided I wanted to do a podcast / like talk show. And then number 74, my first setup for Phoenix Rising Radio, which was my old podcast, was my USB mic and my laptop camera. And it kind of sucked. Like, laptop cameras usually aren't like the best cameras, but this one especially was pretty grainy, and the laptop itself was kind of and I had my USB mic. Then number 75, I used to live stream Phoenix Rising Radio. I used to live stream it to people and everything. And I had like my friends and family, would show up and watch and interact and everything. So that was pretty cool. And I would just randomly talk about stuff, kind of like I do now, but now I write stuff down. Number 76, during my first episode, my Wi-Fi cut out, which the video itself was kind of rough up until that point. I showed up late to recording, and then the grainy Wi-Fi camera, then the fact that my mic was of low quality, and then my Wi-Fi cut out, which was pretty much like the cherry on top, the brown cherry on top of the brown sundae. And number 77, I switched to live streaming from my phone. Yeah, the mic and the USB camera setup was short-lived. I then switched to my phone. The thing is, holding the phone can get kind of awkward sometimes, which is why I eventually invested in a phone stand. But for a while, I used to hold my phone and everything. And then number 78, I brought a camera and a mic for when I switched to System Shock Radio. Around the start of, I believe, 2020, as when I decided to make the switch to System Shock Radio. I bought a camera, mic, and everything, and the camera mic setup is what I've used ever since then, including as I'm recording System Shock Radio here and now. Number 79 is that my previous episode of System Shock Radio and Nigel Dixie's Tales from the Lab used to be live streams. Why aren't they live streams anymore? Because Facebook and Instagram started to get really weird with the live streams. Like, for some reason, when I tried to upload with the live stream and everything, I tried to upload it after the fact, which you had to upload for both platforms, because I had both platforms, both Facebook and Instagram, and even Twitter. But having both platforms got kind of strenuous, and sometimes the videos wouldn't even upload. And I would also upload them to YouTube, but also recording, you're only capped at a certain quality. But here, now that I'm recording on OBS and everything, I'm able to record in 4K, 60 FPS and everything. versus Facebook and Instagram. I think was only like 360. Not even like 720, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm able to record and upload in higher quality and everything, which is why I switched over to recording and everything. But number 80 is that my brother gave me his copy of SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. And I think this is especially when a lot of my interest in wrestling began to build. 2008 was when I became a full-blown wrestling fan, but he gave me his copy of SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 because he was getting SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. But the thing is, like, the disc was like messed up and everything, and so I would only play like the entrances, and that's it. Then when the entrances were played out, before getting to the match itself, it would stop working. It wouldn't work anymore. It used to work. I used to actually play some of the matches early on when I had the game, but then over time, the matches would no longer load. It would just stay stuck at the loading screen for eternity. So I would just play the entrances, play a lot of the entrances for different superstars and everything. And then when I went to do season mode, I would just have to simulate all the matches and everything, and had to do it that way. Kind of rough times, but nevertheless, episode 80, not episode 81, number 81 is that one of my favorite PS2 games was Crash to Insanity. Yes, the game is unfinished. Yes, development was rushed, but I don't care. The game is still absolutely fun. And a lot of people have been clamoring, begging for a remaster of it for years with all the finished content. They cut out quite a bit. Like, if you go into a lot of the unreleased content, some of which they actually have on the game itself. Sorry, quick edit there, but if you look in some of like the files they have on the game itself, a lot of cut content, and they even ended up cutting a whole level. Of course, Ganabit Coco was the name of the level. You were supposed to be able to play as Coco, but unfortunately that level got cut. But it's sad that they weren't able to finish the game and everything. And of course, the soundtrack was really fun as well, with Spiral Mouth, who broke up right after the game came out. Fun. But next up, number 82 is that I am afraid of heights. I do not like being high up and looking down, seeing like the heights and everything. Not the most fun. Number 83 is that I ended up flying in an airplane for the first time last year. That's kind of how much I'm afraid of heights. Actually, never mind. This was 2021. No, this was 2021. I don't know why I put last year. It should be 2021. But yeah, so I flew for the first time in 2021, going to visit family in Virginia, and it was kind of nerve-wracking, but otherwise it was a pretty interesting experience. Number 84, I should say, is that I don't like roller coasters. Not the biggest fan of roller coasters. Partially because I'm afraid of heights, but going at like the fast speeds and everything, definitely kind of scary. Especially a lot of the roller coasters I've seen, where they make like the jokes and stuff on like social media and everything of like the roller coasters that are just out here being like ridiculous. Yeah, no thank you. Who like going upside down and everything. Especially some of the bad stuff that's happening on roller coasters. Not for me. Number 85 is I have never been to Disneyland or Disney World, mostly because my parents could never really afford it. Do I want to go at some point? I think absolutely, but for now, that is where that stands. I definitely do want to go at some point, though. Number 86, just like Disneyland / Disney World, I have never been to Universal Studios. My sister has, though, and I'm low-key jelly, but yeah, never been to Universal Studios. Also want to go to Universal, especially because now they're building the Mario World, the Super Mario World, I should say, at Universal. In fact, I think it might be open by now. But number 87 is that I want to go to San Diego Comic-Con. I actually wanted to go this year, but I think I'll have to push it back until next year. But definitely want to go, definitely want to experience it. I feel like San Diego Comic-Con, one of like the big major Comic-Cons, and they do have Comic-Cons all across the country, even one here in Buffalo, but San Diego Comic-Con, that's like the big one, the big kahuna that I want to go to. Number 88 is that I've only ever been in one school fight, and I forget which episode of System Shock Radio I talked about it, but only been in one school fight. Back in 5th grade, got suspended only one time. Haven't been in a school fight since. And now that I'm out of school, I guess that's the only school fight I'll ever be in, unless something happens if I visit school or something. I don't know. But number 89 is that I grew up watching Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney. Yeah, kind of like the big three when it came to like childhood entertainment and everything, and, especially from like an animation standpoint. I mean, Nickelodeon, of course, Nick with like SpongeBob or Jimmy Neutron or Fairly Odd Parents. Cartoon Network, of course, had stuff like Adventure Time, a regular show, Codename Kids Next Door, stuff like that. And then Disney had stuff like DuckTales, although DuckTales kind of after my time, and like the live action shows and everything. Hey, my sister used to love watching like the live action shows on Disney and everything. But yeah, those were the big three, and those are definitely the ones I watched growing up. Number 90 is that I love ASMR. One of my friends even suggested that I do some ASMR for the channel. Haven't actually done it yet, but I do love ASMR. I love watching ASMR artists. Helps me sleep. Definitely one of my favorite things to watch before going to bed. It's just like, relax and unwind and everything. And one of the things I love about the ASMR community is that a lot of them are pretty much positive, or mostly positive and everything, but also that a lot of people watch ASMR for different reasons. Some people watch it to relax, some people watch it for inspiration, for some it helps them sleep, and so different reasons to watch ASMR, which big fan of. Number 91 is that one of my favorite Marvel comic characters is Deadpool. The ridiculous, zany, oftentimes crazy Deadpool. A lot of his funny, insane antics make him such an interesting character, and the fact that he does kind of have the mystery of like he's similar to like Joker and everything, but they've gone even more ridiculous in it. With Joker, it's a bit more based in reality, I guess, but with Deadpool, they oftentimes just go all out with how insane his character is, especially in like the Deadpool movie or like the Deadpool video game. Deadpool, definitely one of my favorite characters. Number 92 is I would love to do voice acting. Voice acting is fantastic. One of my favorite things is voice acting. It's definitely an art, and I definitely would love to try it at some point. In fact, I very well might. Number 93 is that one of my favorite voice actors is Patrick Warburton, aka Joe Swanson from Family Guy, or Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove. Something about it, he has like a very recognizable voice to where if he's in a role, you'll know it's him, but yes, something about him. I feel like he always helps elevate the movie and makes it fun to watch. I do love other voice actors, of course, like Tara Strong and Tom Kenny and everything, but yeah, Patrick Warburton, definitely one of my favorites. Number 94 is that I like apples. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, and they're nice and juicy and tasty, at least most of them. I absolutely love apples. Number 95 is that my favorite traditional ice cream flavor is vanilla. Now, when I say traditional, I mean like flavors that pretty much like any company makes. Vanilla, I feel like, is probably one of, not the most versatile ice cream flavor. You can add all kinds of toppings and stuff onto it. It really help it stand out, really make it pop. So I really like vanilla. Number 96 is that my favorite unique ice cream flavor, like a one that no other company is really doing, is Superhero from Perry's Ice Cream. It's nice, it's colorful, it tastes really good with like the lemon and like the blue raspberry bubblegum type flavors. I used to get it all the time when I was a kid, still one of my favorite ice cream flavors, probably because I do love superheroes as well. Number 98 is that I have beaten Mega Man's 1 and 2, but not 3. I have the Mega Man Legacy Collection on my PS4 and my Switch, and I even had it on my 3DS. I've beaten the first two, but haven't beaten the third one, which on one hand I could attribute to me kind of sucking at video games, but turns out Mega Man 3 really is that hard. A lot of people say it's one of the hardest games in the series. Like, it is a punishing game in a lot of regards. Like, it is a game that will not take it easy on you. Not as evil as, say, like Jak 2, but definitely kind of a difficult game. number 99 is that I have earned 1,784 PlayStation trophies. Now, granted, because my sister would sometimes play on my PlayStation account, because that was one of the only ways to access the old PlayStation I had when I fixed it and everything, and I gave it to her, the PS4. So some of those do kind of belong to her, but otherwise, still over 1,000 trophies for me. Yep, I got skills. But number 100 is that I've never owned an Xbox. Do I want to own an Xbox? It's probably debatable, but yeah, never had an Xbox. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is 100 fun facts about myself. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And thank you for 100 episodes of System Shock Radio. It's still crazy to think about. But thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts to any of the fun facts. And let me know some fun facts about yourself as well. Oh, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.